When the news broke that Coach Hue Jackson was fired from Grambling State University as the head football coach after 2 seasons, you begin to wonder if this will be the new norm for many of the HBCU programs who are looking to get their sports programs jump-started back to winning immediately. We're going to talk about exactly what Coach's thoughts are on all of this, how everything took place, because I got a couple of things that I saw within the program over the past 2 seasons that left me wondering, did we not think this all the way through? I know the decision is made, but I'm just going to go ahead and give my quick rundown on my thoughts on the situation right after this. You know, it's your favorite coach back at it again. 10 toes down, about to tell you how it all went down. This is Tomorrow Leader Sports Network with your host, Coach Walker. If you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can get all upcoming videos. For all my leaders out there, welcome back. Y'all know the drill. Y'all know the routine. If you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and share these videos. And tap your inner friend into it, tell them to come on in. It's nothing but positive vibes. We're just having a good time talking about HBCU sports. And don't forget, you can follow us on all social media platforms. The links are listed down below in the description. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump on in this thing. Because I'm like, Coach, what's your thoughts on everything that took place? I'm going to be honest with you. Looking at how everything went down, Coach Hue Jackson is now out as the Grambling State head football coach. And some of the Grambling faithful agree with the decision, while some may disagree with the decision. And a change of leadership is something that, you know, is being told everybody that needs to take place. And it still has me wondering, what if we had held on one more year? I know some of you out there be like, Coach, ain't no way in the HE double hockey sticks we hold on another year to deal with that. Did you not see the Bayou Classic? I absolutely did. I saw the Bayou Classic. We're going to talk about that a little further down in the show. So y'all stick around. We're going to get to that. But when I say one more year, I say one more year because a new coach coming into a program needs at least 2 full years to purge out a lot of the old stuff. Well, excuse me, I'm going to say it just how I want to say it. It takes a coach 2 years to purge out the crap that came in there prior to them becoming the head coach over the program. I'm just telling it to you straight, okay? The reason why I say that is because of the fact that a lot of these athletes that was brought into the program prior to you getting there, you didn't recruit them into the program. Not only that, but some of those athletes, you don't know exactly where they may fit on your team as far as position-wise. You probably won't find that out until after or late in that first year to see exactly if this is an athlete that can be used or not. I mean, let's be honest here, guys. Do you really think an HBCU is going to allow a coach to come in and say, hey, I don't need you in my program. You go ahead and kick rocks, hit the transfer portal. I don't need you over here. Heck no, that's not going to happen. We've already saw what happened with that the last time when somebody else did that, which I still think was unfair, but we're going to leave that alone. Looking at everything that's going on, I got to say, coaches got to have a system that's put in place. A system is not easily put in place in one season. It's not. Unless they're coming in there already with a staff that's already in place that understands exactly what's going on, and all that person is doing coming in and being a figurehead, and they riding a wave as far as exactly what it is that they want to do. But we already know there's going to be some head coaches that's going to want to see things go in a different direction. And that's okay. But I say all of that to say that looking at everything how it went down when Coach Hue Jackson came into the program in 2022. He had pieces within the program, but he didn't have that signal caller that can get out there and do the things he needed him to do on the field effectively. And guess what? He finally got that signal caller this year. Looking over the numbers, because we already know everything now has become so analytical. It's like, as I stated in the previous video, if you're going for it on, say, 4th and 2, it's like it gives you a play that should work 90-something% of the time as far as with you being able to get that first down. So you're going to try to figure out, you're going to go with that play that's going to help you get that first down so you continue to keep moving that ball down the field. And in this instance, guess what? Grambling needed a signal caller to help move things down the field. So let me give you the numbers right quick. Let me give you some numbers here. Looking at the passing yards from last season to this season, you're plus almost 700 as far as passing yards. From last season to this season. Interceptions is down from last season. Touchdowns was a +5 from last season. Rushing yards increased 140 yards from last season. They won more games overall, including conference and home games from last season and away games. So I'm just saying, guys, those are the little things that I'm looking at here as far as things that progressed under Coach Hue Jackson from year 1 to year 2. What sticks out to me the most with this firing is the fact that head coach Hue Jackson lost the Bayou Classic not once, but twice. And I can't deny they had an opportunity to win this game after being down 26-7, and they clawed all the way back. It's like you sit there looking at those young men. Like I stated before, when I watched them play under Coach Fobbs, the last season he was at Grambling, when they played over at Alcorn State for their homecoming in Lorna. Those young men got out there collectively together and they balled out for one another. And that was a beautiful thing to see. And that was something that they went out there and did in this game. Because honestly, truly, this game was the first game all season where they didn't have a boatload of penalties that would just kill them. And that would just really keep them from getting back in this game. Now, the turnovers, yes, you had a fumble, you had an interception, but the defense came out there, they played. You had a pick six that went back for a touchdown. But then you had the debacle deep in the red zone, in which a couple of plays was, I still don't understand the plays, but looking at how football has been played over the past couple of seasons, not just with Grambling, but just in general, I don't understand why there's so many plays where the quarterbacks are not underneath center. Everybody is in the gun waiting on the ball to be snapped to them. A delayed handoff here or RPO there. I'm just like, guys, come on. Let's play some ball, man. I mean, you know daggone well you need 2 yards. Everything was clicking and working the way it needed to, and you didn't run the ball. Shame on coach. Bad coach. Bad coach. Bad coach. We got that. But like I stated before, I understand that it doesn't help it anymore because the interim coach, Coach Graves, that's over there at Southern University, who won the Bayou Classic this year for Southern University, was the interim coach that won the Bayou Classic in 2021 for Grambling State University. A lot of the Grambling faithful, they probably had steam coming out their ears. They were so upset with watching how that game went down and them losing to Graves, who left them and went to Southern University. Now, I'll say this. The team was definitely on an upward trajectory as far as where you can expect that team to go this upcoming season, especially on the offensive side of the ball. You know what? Can Coach be honest with y'all for a second here? Let Coach be honest with you just for a hot second here. Can we honestly can we be honest with one another and say that some of us out there have gotten so caught up in the Deion Sanders effect when it comes to recruiting and what he was able to do over at Jackson State that everybody thinks it's supposed to happen just like that when it comes to a celebrity coach that's being hired? I just got to ask that question. Leave your comments below saying, yeah, coach, you got a point. No, coach, you're full of garbage. Coach, get up out of here with that message. Just leave your comments below. I want to see what the people got to say about this because I'm starting to really believe this because why I say this is because of the fact that everybody wants things microwavable. Like they should just be able to go to the microwave, punch in 30 seconds, and instantaneously they're getting wins every week. And it's not happening that way. I mean, I'm sorry, guys. When you get these kids coming in from the transfer portals, they got to find a way to gel together. If they're not gelling together, guess what? It doesn't work. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. It just doesn't work. And like I said, what Deion Sanders was able to do over at Jackson State, many of the coaches tried to mimic it, but there's one thing that everybody failed to understand. The athletes that many coaches thought they couldn't get, Deion Sanders went after them. And in some instances, Deion Sanders had more talent on the field than some of the other teams. But when it came down to teams that had the coaches that could really coach, you saw where those teams were in a dogfight trying to get that win again, trying to get that win. You saw Jackson State in a dogfight trying to get that win away from them teams. Or either they came up short. I'm just being honest with you. Look at from watching the games, for 2 years. I'm just being totally honest with you. And it's no slight. I'm just being honest with what I'm saying. This is my assessment as far as what's going down. And I'm trying to get an understanding of, is this where we're going as far as with bringing the coaches into the program? Our ADs and presidents, are you guys going to allow these coaches to build the program up, especially when the program has been, a shell of itself for over a period of time? I mean, everybody wants it right now, and I'm sorry, but right now is not always going to happen that way. But let me get back on track with this, because I don't want to lose nobody with this. And when I look at that, especially now when you have the NIL, you inject that NIL into this thing now. Where now, these kids, they're getting paid for name, image, and likeness. You got to have a coach that's going to be able to get out there and market the program, as well as athletes that's going to be marketable within the program. So you got people that want to come pour money into the program. And a lot of these coaches, I don't feel, and this is just my personal opinion, and I could be wrong. If there's any coaches listening to this, please tell me, hey, coach, you're wrong. If you want to talk to me on the side, please DM me at TLSN12 on Twitter, or you can DM me on Instagram at TL Sports Network, or you can email me at TLSNINFO@gmail.com, and we can have a conversation offline to get an understanding, so I can get an understanding of where you're coming from as far as what you're looking to do with your program. I'm saying these things because I want to see the program succeed. I'm not saying this to say, hey, I'm going to smack everybody around. I got nothing but negative stuff to say. I'm not on that type of time. I just want to make sure that everybody is jumping on board and say, hey, look, this is our time to make this thing shine for us to move forward and get everything done in the manner which we need. Think about it. The days from how many of us who played collegiate sports for our favorite HBCUs, those days have changed. Where you got the coach come in the house, they sit down with mom and dad, they eat, they sit down and have a little dinner, whatever, salad, or have a couple of drinks or whatever, not necessarily alcoholic beverages, but say a Sprite, water, whatever. Kool-Aid, whatever it is you got at your house, they sit down and just conversate. And once them parents feel comfortable with their coach, they say, okay, you got him. Hey, send him back as a man. Turn him into a man so that he can get out here and do whatever it is he needs to do out here in the community to be a great person. If he's not going to be able to go to that next level, to continue to keep playing on a higher level, in the sport that he loves or she loves. So all I'm saying is, from that standpoint, we got to get into that where coaches in general are willing to get out there and daggone market themselves as well as their institution to make sure that people is coming in here to pour those marketing dollars into those programs so that you have the money to do all of the things that you need to do to recruit those athletes into your program. You have to have it. If you don't have those additional finances, guess what? You're behind the 8 ball. Now, when we talk about finances, I will say one thing. Grambling, I posted a tweet online where I said Grambling State did dot their I's and cross their T's, because according to this article, it stated that Coach Hue Jackson's contract is supposed to go through 2025. Now, if by chance he got fired before December 15th, then guess what? The last 2 years of the contract will be voided, and they'll pay him out for the fiscal year. So that means he'll get paid out for the rest of this year. Here, you see that article up here as well. So all I'm doing is I'm just doing due diligence as far as how all of this is going down, because Grambling's going to have to go get a coach that's going to be able to come in there and sustain everything that's going on right now, i.e. trying to make sure that these daggone recruits don't, up and bounce and decide they want to hit the transfer portal. Or better yet, kind of some of the stuff that head coach T.C. Taylor dealt with last season, where he was trying, he was sitting there building. You still have folks that wanted to defect and go elsewhere. It's going to happen. So all I'm saying is right now, with early signing period coming, a week or so away, you got to position yourself to make sure things are in place so that you can get these athletes into your program to make sure your program continues to keep moving forward. I honestly feel that once everything's settled down, a new coach is in place, and Grambling gets halfway through the season next year, there may be a person or two that might sit there and say, man, we should have waited one more year. Based on how the team is doing. If the team is doing great, we probably won't hear no conversation about it. Then again, if they're not doing great, you're going to hear all kind of echoes going on. But the one thing that I do need to happen, and I hope and pray this happens, not at just Grambling, but all the HBCUs, all the infighting that's going on. Guys, y'all think it don't hit out here on the net. It does. Me personally, I don't talk about the stuff because, hey, I'm just like, come on, guys, y'all got to do better. I'm not saying that that's happening at Grambling. I'm just saying in general context. So don't get upset about that. I'm looking at the interview with AD Travion Scott from over at Grambling State University, in which he was stating that the team could have been, their record could have been a lot better this season, be it 9-2 based on a play or two here and there, had they made the right plays and they were, able to win those games. Looking over their record this year, as I stated, they won additional games this year. They probably could have won, say, maybe 2 or 3 additional games. I give them that. They had a close game that they lost to Alcorn State. They had the game that they lost to Alabama State, in which they basically special teams beat Grambling State in that game. Not to mention they played keep away with the ball from Grambling State in that game as well, because they knew that their previous quarterback, Miles Crowley, was over there on that team playing for Grambling this year. So they understood the task at hand as far as what they needed to do to make sure that Grambling didn't get that ball back in their hands to possibly win the game. And last but not least, the Bayou Classic was the cherry on top as far as, everybody say, hey, enough is enough. And so many people was upset at the fact of what was going on. Yes, Grambling was in the thick of things early on in the season for them to possibly play in this upcoming weekend SWAC championship against FAMU. Unfortunately, as I stated before, the team itself needs to gel. Like I said, this past weekend was the first time that I saw them without all of the penalties. All throughout the season, they had a lot of penalties, so there's a lot of things that needed to be worked on. And it looked like those things were starting to gel a little bit in that game. But you know what? We can only look at what we see and see what we're looking at. And the people that made the decision, they feel that change was necessary. I understand a lot of folks was upset about the whole, about him wanting to bring Art Browse in the program. I mean, that only became an issue when you had a person or two decide they want to get upset and start screaming about him coming into the program. There was a lot of folks that were online that were stating that they were for him coming to the program. So, seeing a lot of the things that's coming up in the news now as far as why things happen, we'll never know why. But I mean, we can only speculate as far as what we think was the real reason why. Me personally, I feel that loss in the Bayou Classic, I think that was the one that really just pushed everybody over the edge and made them say, hey, we want to go a different direction with this, and hoping that they can get somebody that's going to come in there and be able to fill the needs or better yet, be able to fulfill the duties that the different factions may feel, can get it done for the institution. Like I stated before, Grambling State is known for winning, and they want to get back to their winning ways. But right now, looking at how everything is structured when it comes to recruiting these athletes out of high school, as well as these kids come from junior colleges and these transfers, you have to have time to build this thing. And if you don't get the time to build it, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, it worked for Deion Sanders. No one knows. Well, I mean, he gave you the 40-40-20 rule, but, again, it's what it is. But all I'm saying is the decision is made, and we have to wait and see how everything turns out. I mean, will the next coach be able to, have time to build a program? If by chance they come in there this first season and things don't work out in the manner in which they expect them to, are they going to allow them year number 2? Are they going to allow them year number 3? That's the $1 million question right there. So we're going to have to wait and see how all of this turns out. And Coach going to come back and follow up on this again and talk about it as more information drops. But Coach going to go ahead and get up on out this thing. But until next time, be the one and lead.